Here's another I've had a thought. Today we're having thoughts about parallel universes. Yes, that's right. The ability of a universe that is exactly so identical to ours, except from it took a left turn. One tiny decision made a totally different reality. So, let's start off with the simple basics. One reality, for example, I don't have a beard. That's literally the only difference. Everything else is identical. Crazy, but that reality exists. It's a tiny little thing like that. There might be even a reality where cars were never invented. We didn't invent cars. So a whole reality without cars, they were never invented. Where would you travel to a different reality just to try it out? A reality where you were rich, where you were poorer than you are, a reality where you're super strong. Thing is, you go into that reality doesn't mean that you're going to be that person. You're still your version of the reality. The only difference would be, yes, you might be rich in one universe and you take over from being rich. Let's say you're a rich inventor and a scientist or something. But when you've taken over from that part, doesn't mean you're super intelligent and become a scientist, does it? So therefore, questions will start to be asked. You're not the real version of Tom, for example. So, parallel universe is a very interesting thing. Do you think they actually do exist in our reality right now? Do you think there is another universe following our universe, following another universe and so forth? Or is this just more crazy science fiction? If there was parallel universes, it would be intriguing to step into one and just see how your life would be slightly altered, slightly different. Like, what if you were, a scientist, for example, as we said just a minute ago, and then you stepped in there. You wouldn't be able to just be like, oh yes, I'm a world genius. You'd be like, I have no idea what any of this means, for example. So you'd have to step into a universe that had a bit more simpler changes. Like, for example, not even a movie star. I'm not a movie star, for example. Hence the reason I do these great YouTube videos, as you see right now. Hi, I'm YouTube famous. Woo. But point being is, you can't step into the place of an alternate version of you. I think the only type of alternate version you'd be able to step into is one that is close to how you live now. So here's a bit of a sad example, unfortunately. Let's say you're married with your wife and kids and all this, and unfortunately there's a tragic accident and your family die but you survive. But in this alternate universe, they survived but you died. So the only difference is you're taking the place of your deceased version. Kind of what they do in Rick and Morty, where they just take over from their deceased versions of themselves. You just basically carry on in the timeline, everything's exactly the same, the only difference is you wouldn't exist, but now you do exist, you're just taking the place of your other version. I think that would probably be the only type of reality you could step into. Anything else would be a bit too far-fetched, a bit too crazy. Maybe you could just step into a reality where we can teleport, for example. That would be a reality you could probably step into. You'd probably be a bit like, a bit confused, but you'd be able to get to it. Or a reality where magic exists, for example, and anyone can be magic. They just need a wand and learn to say, Leviosa, for example, with just a flick, and anyone can do magic. So you'd be able to step into that type of universe. So what do you reckon? Let me know in the comments. Until the next one.